Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news of a couple tragic accidents over the weekend, Trump veteran fundraiser news, a local fire, news from China Lake, other election news, today's gas prices, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Well, with every holiday weekend, it seems we also get these tragic reports of people dying in off-road accidents. Every holiday weekend, the high desert often attracts thousands of off-roaders to the area for fun and outdoor activities. However, this past weekend we report these devastating accidents. Both of these accidents were on Friday, May 27th. First, we have James Martin Clevenger from Oxnard, California. He was 22 years old. The accident took place at 4:30 in the afternoon. The location was at the Horse Canyon Road, about a half-mile north of Highway 14 in Inyokern. The investigating agencies are the California Highway Patrol and the Kern County Sheriff's Coroner's Office. The details of the accident were that the decedent was a passenger in an off-road vehicle that caught fire and burned. The driver was barely able to unlock himself out of the 5-point harness and escape with moderate to severe burns over a majority of his body. The passenger apparently was not able to get out of the vehicle. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A post-mortem examination will be scheduled to determine the cause and manner of death. The next tragic accident was about Alejandro Cardenas. He was from Buena Park, California. He was 38 years old. The time of the incident was 7:30 p.m. last Friday, and it was in Jawbone Canyon near Weldon. Gardenia was driving a quad runner. He was southbound on a dirt-graded road. The driver lost control in a turn and collided with a large boulder next to the roadway. The decedent was thrown from the vehicle. He suffered major head injuries. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A post-mortem examination will be scheduled to determine cause and manner of death. Next of kin was notified in both of these accidents. Well, in election news, yesterday we saw Donald Trump give an accounting of the funds raised at his veteran fundraiser last January. He held a press conference to provide the details. He reported that the event raised about $5.6 million, with him donating $1 million. He then read off a list of all the organizations that got the money. He emphasized that he did not pay any administrative fees in getting these funds distributed. Then the real excitement started. He lashed out at a lot of the media for inaccurately reporting the facts of the event. He lashed out hard at many in the liberal media that is actually publishing lies about the event. A veteran standing behind him on the stage gave a quick support speech and also lashed out at the liberal media. This attack on the media resulted in a huge backlash from many of the media saying they were just doing their job. Immediately after the speech closed, I scanned the MSNBC and CNN and Fox stations to see their reaction. CNN and MSNBC were beside themselves, defending themselves, that they were just doing their job to scrutinize a candidate for the president. The news pundits were proclaiming that they have thick skins and can handle any criticism thrown at them by anyone. But then they spent hours defending themselves, making them out to be the good guys just doing their jobs. It was clear that Trump was very irritated of some of the recent press stories claiming he didn't raise the funds he said he did and refused to give an accounting to how the funds were being distributed. Trump said the accounting was slow because many of the distributions were not completed until recently. As a matter of fact, one is still pending. Trump stated that he took time to distribute the funds because they wanted to vet every organization to make sure they were actually a good organization and were proper in their work for veterans before any funds were distributed. Additionally, Trump lashed out at the protesters out front of his hotel as Clinton plants trying to disgrace the fundraiser. He cited the media in telling him that the protesters were Clinton plants. And it was later in the day confirmed that the Clinton campaign was really behind the whole inference that Trump did not raise the funds he said he did, and that the funds were not distributed. And the press conference proves that Clinton the camp was totally wrong in their assertions. So the attack on the liberal media continues, and the liberal media continues to defend themselves, stating that if Clinton had done the same thing Trump did, they would be asking her the same questions. Trump said, "Why aren't you asking Clinton about why she put protesters out front of his hotel?" Anyway, the war has taken a huge turn. Trump said, "Print the truth and everything will be fine. Print lies and he'll attack them and point out their lies." Later in the day, Rush Limbaugh came out swinging, defending Trump. He was saying, "Republicans have been waiting for years to have a candidate willing to put the liberal media in their place." Later on, CNN, one pundit mentioned that Trump asked for the confrontations by holding press conferences where the media can ask questions. The moderator replied with the question as to when will Clinton agree to unfettered access like Trump does. The answer from the Clinton staffer on the panel was a shock. He said they see no reason to allow unfiltered access to Clinton. And no follow-up was asked as to why the press was not allowed access to the Clinton candidate. So the liberal bias will continue. Their effort to keep a Republican out of the White House is again obvious. In news from the fire department, we get this report. Over the weekend, the Ridgecrest Police Department, Kern County Fire Department, and the China Lake Fire Department responded to a structure fire in the 200 block of West Front Street here in Ridgecrest. At about 1:30 in the afternoon, a single-family home caught fire. The home was reportedly vacant and there were no known injuries. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The video shows the owner of the property talking to the Ridgecrest police officers. Volunteers with the Ridgecrest Police Department PAC unit assisted with traffic control during the incident. The homeowner apparently lives behind the home. The home suffered extensive damage and will probably have to be totally leveled. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have some more campaign news. Thanks for staying with us. In other campaign news, there was also a disturbance at a Sanders rally in Oakland, California over the weekend. Over a dozen animal rights activists tried to storm his stage to get to him. They are trying to get Sanders to support liberation for all animals and freedom for all animals. However, the Secret Service agents were able to catch them before they actually reached Sanders. Sanders never left the stage, but was quickly surrounded by Secret Service agents. Sanders is continuing his all-out push for California. He still believes he can win California, and the polls are now showing him and Clinton in a dead heat. However, Governor Brown has come out endorsing Clinton. He said he admires Sanders' positions and effort, but still thinks Clinton is the right person for the job. Sanders' goal is to win California and win a battle over the superdelegates. The Clinton camp is behind the scenes extremely upset with Sanders' continued effort in this campaign. Clinton was scheduled to be done campaigning in California over the weekend. However, she has now added more appearances here in the next week. In news about road construction by the new Walmart, we get this announcement. The general contractor building the new Walmart on the corner of South China Lake Boulevard and East Bowman Road is announcing the start of major road work. Please be advised that they will be starting major storm drain work in the intersection of China Lake Boulevard and Bowman Road. This is to tie the West Bowman Wash to the East Bowman Wash. They will be installing an underground storm system that will join these two washes together. This is a very large part of the City of Ridgecrest Storm Drainage Improvement Project. Traffic will be restricted to one lane in each direction between College Heights Boulevard and East Raider Street starting today through July. There could also be some delays throughout this time as this work is very complicated. They have done some careful planning and are hoping everything goes smooth. Please bear with them on this very complicated scope of work. And be alert to the safety of the construction workers. Slow down. You can also avoid it altogether by going around the area using South Norma Street. In local club news, the China Lake Museum Foundation is getting ready for their annual dinner fundraiser. The event will be held Saturday, June 4th. It'll be at the Kerr-McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. This dinner and fundraiser helps raise funds for the operations of the museum on China Lake and to add funds to the construction account to build a new museum in the city. The proposed location of the museum is by the Matarango Museum. Moving the museum off base is real important to make it more accessible to the general public. This fall, they plan on starting the new museum with a 3,000 square foot building. This will be phase 1. I talked to Bob and Alice Campbell recently about this actual beginning. They both were real quick in their response that it is going to happen. The time has come to get this started. And it will start this fall. Tickets for the dinner fundraiser is $35 for a single and $60 for a couple. So if you want to help, plan on attending the dinner fundraiser. Time is running out. Again, it will be held this Saturday, June 4th, It'll be at the Kerr-McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. For more information or to buy tickets, call 760-939-3530. You can call and purchase tickets with a credit card if you'd like. They also have a Facebook at China Lake Museum Foundation. Help make this great addition to the community a reality. Well, as the Republican campaign swings its attention to the national campaign, Republican mega-donor Sheldon Adelson's aides are involved in talks to set up a super PAC to support Donald Trump's candidacy. This will provide a means of giving for donors. Citing three sources involved in the discussions, Politico reports that if the super PAC comes to fruition, it would be intended to become the main source of donating to Trump's effort to beat Democrat Hillary Clinton in November. The talks have included former Republican Governors Association Executive Directors Nick Ayers and Phil Cox, former Rand Paul campaign manager Chip Englander, and former Chief of Staff to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Josh Holmes. Politico reports former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who is part of the Trump's transition team, is also reportedly part of the talks to put together the super PAC. He has urged a single super PAC instead of several PACs competing for the same dollars. The estimate is that over $1 billion will be needed to defeat Clinton and the Democrats. That's billion with a B. That is an insane amount of money that is needed for this campaign. In news from China Lake, as of Friday, personnel entering and exiting the base will notice additional force protection measures being put in place. These will be at 3 entrance gates to the base. Beginning with the main gate, people will notice a transition to single lanes for the exit. This will go from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily. All vehicles will be funneled into single lanes. Cones and police cars will be set in place for this effort. These new measures will be implemented in a phased approach. So if you're using the base in the near future, be aware of these traffic changes at the gates. And in a quick update on that Egyptian plane that went down over the Mediterranean Sea, the black boxes have been located, but not recovered. There's a real mystery surrounding what happened in the deadly crash of the Egypt Air flight that killed all 66 passengers and crew on board. A French ship reported that they actually picked up the signals that Egyptian authorities say is from one of the black boxes of the plane. And it may contain the vital clues investigators need to find out what happened. The development raises hope that the plane's flight data and cockpit voice recorders, known as the black boxes, could be retrieved and shed light on the aircraft's tragic crash. The signal's frequencies match with the frequencies of data recorders, a French Navy spokesman told the Associated Press. According to the AP, the location and identification of the equipment picked up in the signals from the seabed of the wreckage search area, assumed to be from one of the data recorders. The Egyptian statement read, it added that a second ship, John Lethbridge, affiliated with a deep sea organization search firm, will join the search team later this week. The flight recorders are believed to be at a depth of about 3,000 meters. And don't forget, there's a city council meeting tonight. It starts right after the news. Once again, the Indian Casino Agreement is on the agenda. You have plenty of time to make it down there to make comments if you'd like. Tonight, they will just review the agreement one more time, then a final vote of approval. Again, that's tonight, right after the news. See you there. Now, in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's gas prices for Ridgecrest and some surrounding areas. Well, since my last report, local prices have held steady, and we still have the lowest prices in all the areas we're monitoring. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $2.53 to $2.99. Lancaster from $2.73 to $2.99. The LA Valley area $2.59 to $2.85, and the Bishop area $2.74 to $2.99. We have 3 stations at $2.53 per gallon. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you'll help in those cities pave their streets instead of here. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have weather and sports. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, showers and thunderstorms are forecast to develop over portions of the central and southern high plains and the southern plains through Friday. Thunderstorms will produce heavy rainfall and increase the threat of flash flooding. Excessive heat is expected in portions of the southwest late this week and weekend. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 81, Georgia at 89, Arkansas at 80, Northern Texas at 59, Arizona at 91, and Los Angeles at 64. And for us locally, tonight, clear with a low around 68, east-southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Thursday, sunny with a high near 106, south-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear with a low around 68, south-southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny with a high near 106, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 69, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny with a high near 105, northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low around 69, west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. And Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 101, west wind 5 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
Thanks, Lane. And now here's Tom Heck with sports.
And a very pleasant early Wednesday evening to everyone. Let's talk about the Dodgers now. The Dodgers, are they on a roll or not? They won 2 of 3 against the Mets this weekend. Then they beat the Cubs, the best team in baseball, yesterday, 5-0. Shut out the Cubs the second time all year the Cubs have been shut out. So the Dodgers, again, are they ready to make their move? They're now 28-25, 3 games over 500. They'll play again today at Wrigley Field. Now the Angels, a wild one last night in Anaheim. The Angels led 9-2. Everyone thought it just about over. The Tigers come back. They put up 4 in the 7th. They score more in the 8th. They tie the game, only to see the Angels score 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th to win the game 11-9. C.J. Cron had 2 home runs in that game. His second home run was a walk-off 2-run shot in the 9th inning. Mark Lowe, the loser for Detroit. The Angels now 4 games under 500. Mike Trout, who I think is the best player in all of Major League Baseball, another 3-run home run last night. He had 5 RBIs in that game. St. Louis beats Milwaukee. Oakland over Minnesota. Minnesota had a sweep against Seattle. Now they've lost 2 in a row. The Marlins beat Pittsburgh. The White Sox finally get on the win column. They have been in a slump. They beat the Mets. Kansas City over Tampa Bay. Colorado puts up 17 runs against the lowly Reds. They beat them 17-4. San Francisco shuts out Atlanta, the Giants on top of the West. Houston finally starting to play good baseball. Houston beats Arizona 8-5. Houston took 2 of 3 against the Angels. They've won 2 in a row now against Arizona. Seattle continues to win. They beat San Diego 16-4, and Texas also wins, so the Angels do not gain any ground. All right, the NHL tonight, game number 2, Stanley Cup Finals. It'll be the Sharks against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won game number 1. All right, let's take a look at the standings right now. Best teams in all of baseball as we get near the 30% mark of the season. Boston 32-20. They lead the Central. Kansas City finally getting off the ground. They're now 29-22. They are in second place in that Central. Texas 31-21 right now. They lead the West a half a game over Seattle. Seattle 30-21. The Angels are 7.5 games back as they start play today against Detroit. All right, in the National League, Washington under Dusty Baker 32-21. They lead the East. In the Central, the Cubs 35-15. The Cubs shut out yesterday by the Dodgers, as I mentioned. And out west, San Francisco, a 33-21 record. The Giants seem to go up and down, and right now they're on the upswing. Reminder that Syracuse will have their annual basketball camps, the first one in June 13 through 17. It's Monday through Friday. Starts at 8 o'clock. The doors open 8:30. We start the camp. Also one in July 11 through 15, and one in August, the first week of August before school starts. Information 760-384-6384. That's your sports for this Wednesday. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. Also, KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk, coming up next.